morning,
Good morning.
Commissioners.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning.
So, well, thanks for having me this morning. Sure. Let me get myself situated here. I brought one more for the attorney if need be. So I'll leave that there. Or should I give it to you? Okay. All right. Let me get myself situated here. So, well, things are looking really good. Things are looking really good. The numbers are looking fantastic for the first quarter. So I thought I'd just go through it with you guys, and feel free to fire off any questions you guys might have. If we go ahead and start just on page number 1, this is our kind of customary quarterly review numbers showing, if you kind of start in column number 1, that was what we kind of projected our monthly premium and annual premiums to be. Column number 2, that's kind of our actual numbers for the first quarter. And if you look down at the very bottom of column number 2, you're going to see we are 6.41% over our projected. That number can be attributed to the fact we had a shift in, as opposed to number of individuals employee only versus family. So when we shift to the family side, that number goes up. Okay, so that's why we had that 6.41%. It's not that we're necessarily over. In a sense, it was just attributed to that shift.
Well, you got to remember that was a projection too, not.
Yes, sir. You bet. The third column here is basically you take the actual, column number 2, but we add in back your reserves. Of course, you guys have substantial reserves, and you come back in, and now we're 75% under what we had projected. That's with reserves.
75%?
75%, yeah. So, any questions on that? Or should I go? Okay. On page number 2, this is just kind of a breakdown of your monthly claims. There's 2 columns I think would be worthwhile. I mean, there's obviously lots and lots of information there for you guys to chew on. But columns number, let's see, I guess 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's monthly medical claims paid, and then monthly RX claims paid. You see both of those right there. Mm-hmm. That is one of the reasons why we're doing so well this quarter. We just have had low claims for the first quarter. In fact, I went back to the previous quarterly review that I'd done for you guys, just kind of looking at some basic numbers, and we're almost 50% less in that time period.
That's great.
Yeah. Whether that maintains, keep your fingers crossed, of course. But that's why we're seeing that 75% on that first page number up so high, because our claims are so low for that first quarter period. So that's just kind of an interesting number to kind of poke at there. Any questions on page number 2? Okay. All right, outstanding. Page number 3 is your dental. And since you guys self-fund the dental, there's a couple of numbers I want to kind of throw at you guys to see how well you're doing. In the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see where it says stop-loss factors. It'll say single at $15.99. Do you see those numbers right up in here? Okay. You see it up there in the upper corner? Yes, sir. You got it too? Mm-hmm. Okay. So that's what kind of the rate that we establish going into this at our stop-loss. If you look at the lower left-hand corner, it'd be right here, where it says single at $14.02. You see that? And $14.02. That's the rate we're actually running. So we're actually running less than what we were projected on the dental side, since we self-fund. Julie wanted me to throw something at you guys. What we're seeing the rates, if you were to go out, not self-fund it like we are doing here, and you're just to open on the open market, just buy the same exact dental plan. Julie says the rates, a single would be $30 to $35, and a family would be $120.
Wow.
So that's if you go out for Delta Dental or any of the open market things. So we're doing really, really well there. We're even doing better than projected. And projection is lower than the open market. So by self-funding it, you guys save money, plus it's quite a benefit to the employees as well. So we're looking good on that as well, on the dental side. And any questions on that page? Okay, outstanding. We always just throw this one in here. It's just it's a great kind of interesting look. It's top benefits by group. So you can kind of make sure I'm on the right page as well. Okay. Obviously, all the prescription stuff is always the highest. We see that almost on every single quarterly report. And then the numbers are kind of represented there. It's just an interesting kind of look to see where everything is playing out. Obviously, the hospital and the prescription ones are typically always the highest ones, of course. So that's broken down by benefits. The next page, if you flip it over, is broken down by top providers. So on one side, we're saying, hey, what are the benefits that are going out, i.e. hospital, obviously prescription. And then on the next page, it breaks it down by who the top providers are, paid by the plan. So it's a dollar amount. So in this particular case, the hospital jumps up to number one because the most dollars were paid out by the plan.
Why are there so many different, I see Showing County Clinic listed, like at least 3 times.
Yeah, I think it's my understanding is, and I can verify this
It's
for
just how
you.
it's broken out. Or?
Yeah, it's based on certain codes of use. Yeah, but would you like me to follow up on
No,
that? For you?
I just-
You're okay. Okay. Yeah, so I think depending on the code of the whatever the treatment or benefit being used was would play out in that sense. If you guys, interestingly enough, if you look at the top benefits by group and then the top providers by group, the total number paid by the plan, those numbers match. So we can always kind of keep track to know what benefits are being paid out and for what reason, and those two numbers match. Okay. Any question on those 3 pages? Top benefits or top providers?
This number,
Top benefit or top provider?
just a second, let me,
Looks like you're on the top provider page. Let me
Yes,
flip that
sorry.
over. Yo, you're fine.
now, are these the numbers of individuals or employees that have used these services?
My understanding is let me.
It's the number of claims.
Number of claims per,
Yeah, I think that's number. I don't know if that's number of claims is the third column. That number is the number. I don't know if that's a code. I'm going to have to get back to you on exactly what that number is. I don't want to misspeak and say that it's something that it's not.
These are the ones we're speaking of?
Yes, sir.
yeah, I just don't know what those numbers are.
Yeah, because it would be because it would have to be way more than number of employees, because that wouldn't make sense. Let me follow up on you
Okay.
for that. Sorry about that. Okay. I'll make a note here. Scott, can I just email you that answer?
Yeah.
Okay. Or would you like one directly?
Scott will forward it right to me.
Okay, great.
You're talking about that number beside the per divider name?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just not a code for that.
Yeah, since I can't answer that on
It
this
doesn't make
report,
much sense, though. I mean, the numbers are kind of,
it couldn't be a number of individuals because you would have 25, the hospital would have way more than 2 individuals
sure, and
partaking.
Hayes Med wouldn't have 246.
That's right. But let me verify
Okay.
and what that actually means.
I was just curious.
No, that's an excellent question. Yeah, that's an excellent question. Just jot myself a note. Okay, outstanding. Is there any other questions besides that one? Okay, okay. On the next page, we're on the Surview page right here. Surview. What I'd like to do is I'd like to flip just to the page after that first, then come back to this one. It's just a quick little pie chart reference here. Utilization is the pie chart on the left, and you guys are doing outstanding on as far as utilization using generic versus name brand. 93%. That's outstanding. So the total drug cost is the pie chart number 2, and that's where you can see we want to work as hard as possible trying to get everything on the generic side because of the cost factor. And if you want to now start breaking down the numbers, peel back to the original first page here, and you will see right here in the middle, it says total plan paid. Can you see that chart, that total plan paid? And you can see there that the generic was $2,700 roughly, $2,704. And the brand name was $2,082. So obviously, with anything coming with brand names, and sometimes we just can't avoid utilizing those type of brand names. But if you look at that, I just want to say that some might say that's numbers pretty high, but the utilization is excellent at 93%. So we're always,
Because there's some new meds that are not generic yet.
that's right. That's exactly right. And doctors prescribe certain things, and that's a patient, choice and so forth. So that's an excellent number, by the way. So we always want to keep that generic usage as high as possible, which drives down our overall costs. So you guys are doing well on the utilization part as well. The very last 2 pages are just, we threw in just a couple of summary pages. This is what your plan is. We always include that in this quarterly report. So it's your medical benefits, obviously $1,000 deductible and so forth, and the very last page is your dental benefits. So just kind of always including that in the quarterly report for you, just so you always know where we stand with what plan you have. So things are looking really good, really good. Outstanding numbers, good utilization, providing an excellent benefit at a real reasonable
I
price.
think most employees, a lot of the little employee complaints have kind of subsided, haven't they not?
I haven't heard any here lately.
Yeah.
Good.
Normally, they all seem to focus around the two-card thing.
Two-card thing. Yeah.
And
It's just it's a hard one to break.
Yeah, it
It
is.
is. But we look at it and say, the 2 cards is worthwhile to save the county money in order to provide excellent benefits.
it's not your fault, it's not our fault. It's whatever provider is not getting that information coded correctly or put in correctly.
That's right. That's right.
It's just, it's a fight every time you use it seems like.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah,
Outstanding. Well, we sure appreciate it. It's been great working with you guys.
okay.
So
And we appreciate you guys a lot. You've certainly improved the benefits to our employees. So
yeah. Well, it's been a great run for sure. So we sure enjoy
I hope it
So,
continues.
yeah. So, well, you guys feel free to reach out to us as you always do. I'll get an email back to you regarding that question. I would like the answer for that as well.
Okay.
These reports can get pretty detailed, I suppose. A lot of information, a lot of numbers. So, any other questions or anything I can assist you, Jill, with?
Have anything?
Well, have
Fine, thank you.
You betcha. Well, have a great day.
All right, thanks, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll get back to you. Thanks so much. Okay. Have a great day.
Okay, Mr. Duncan.
I won't take up very much of your time.
We're ahead of schedule anyway, it looks like.
The first question I got, 6 months ago when I asked the question, will you, after I've done the work on 4th Street that I've done, would you come in and put a top layer of milling on and finish the road out? You said you'd discuss it and get back with me. Well, I've asked for that answer now.
And the answer is no.
Okay, thank you. But And the reason why?
Well, I'm really not going to answer very much of that without our county attorney present.
Okay.
She's the one that
Okay.
takes care of all of our legal issues.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. Now, I just spent a week in Topeka, and I went to the, there's two places you can make copies for legal transactions, and primarily Supreme Court cases, Kansas Law Library, and then over at the History Museum at the archives. They have all of the court cases decided by the Supreme Court. Now, I went through, I made a copy of 7 of them. I have a couple with me. Cost me roughly $35 a piece. And they all come from the county road laws. Have you read the county road laws?
Not completely.
Well, I've hit several times on page 6, this paragraph here. Now you're under the assumption that that's an easement and not a road. But the question I ask, and I ask in the papers, when does an easement become a road? And there is standards to it. There are several ways in here, back here in the court case, where it explains the different ways of opening a road, official or unofficial. But after making copies of these, I went down and talked to Mr. Woods in Imperial. Does that say Imperial? Anyway, the person who wrote the county road law has been writing them for the state of Kansas in Emporia. And I asked him about these laws to make certain. And the key thing is, it doesn't make a difference if it was an easement or whatever. Once the county started maintaining that road, and they maintained it from 1949 through 1975 that I know of, I repeatedly said that. I've got statements from people, which in this case, the county attorney was not willing to read. But once they started maintaining that road, they were obligated to maintain that road. Just because a person decided, okay, it's no longer a road, doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make any difference if it's a single driveway going to a single house. Once the county committed that, then they're obligated to maintain that road. And I'm asking, since she's not here, did she ever think about picking up the phone and calling the engineer that wrote these laws? Has been preparing for the state of Kansas for years.
You'd have to ask her that question.
Well, that's what I was hoping to do here today, because, see, we're right back to square one. I know you may not think that you're obligated to maintain that road. It is a legal county road. I know you may not think so, and I understand that. But if you read these laws, actually read this book.
Well,
You know,
there's a difference between reading the law and interpreting the law and understanding the law.
Well, that's the reason why I went to Topeka.
Well, that is the reason why we ask you to retain an attorney to get his or her legal opinion to present it to our attorney. That way the two legal people could be able to hash this thing out.
I've already done that.
Okay.
I had done that
not-
before I ever come in here the very first time when I come in here. And I've worked through the legal system. And if I have no choice but to do it that way, I will. But I'm saying I should not have to, when I've provided as much information as I could about the laws of the state of Kansas. And
Well, we're at kind of a standstill here. Our position is probably not going to change.
okay, well, I appreciate that. And that leaves me just one alternative left, and you understand that. Okay.
I don't know if you're making a vague threat or.
I'm not making a threat.
Well,
I don't
explain
threaten.
yourself then.
It's plain and simple. My attorney will contact yours.
And that's what we asked you to do months ago.
The point being, I really should not have had to do that.
Well, but
No. I know you don't have an easy job. I understand that. I know the county's tax dollars are limited. I understand that. But let's just say I'll leave, and we'll see what comes out in the works.
okay, Scott, you got anything else today?
Don't believe so. Do you have anything else, Dave?
Roger?
No problem. It's all right.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I wished I knew more about this